So I'm Ira Dworkin. I'm with FPT Software. FPT is a large technology consulting and software development firm. We're based in Vietnam, but we have offices throughout the world, including here in LA. I run the media and entertainment vertical for FPT. I've been in the industry for a long time, longer than I care to admit. And I'm here today with Phong Nguyen, who is our Chief AI Officer. He's been with the company for a while, quite a lot of experience in AI and machine learning, and has published numerous articles. So today we're going to talk about ethical uses of AI and machine learning. First, we're going to get into some of the more typical use cases in media and entertainment, and then we'll get into how they may be misused and what companies can do to address that misuse and ensure that that data and AI is being used in a positive way. FPT has a broad range of capabilities in AI, covering everything from object identification to pattern recognition, to natural language understanding, and more. So, Phong, maybe to kick us off, if you could talk a little bit about some of the uses for AI and machine learning in media and entertainment, and help us understand some of the power of AI.
Sure. So as everyone has known, AI has been around and has been playing a very important part in our daily life every day. You talk to Siri, you have been interacting with a lot of applications on the internet powered by AI from the background. So AI has been everywhere. And specifically for media and entertainment, AI contribution can be grouped into three big contributions. The first one is content generation. Nowadays, with the power of learning from millions of data points, from images to sound to speech, so AI can help to automate content generation. What does that mean? For example, nowadays AI can create a whole new picture, a whole new drawings, or a whole new video from scratch. So producer can use some of the stock image generated by AI for their production. It also helps with content personalization. It understands your preference so that it can feed the right contents to you on YouTube, on social media. It also can help with multilingual translations. So nowadays, from one language to another language, AI can help you to understand what is a person talking in the video. It can create subtitles. It can even translate in real time what you are talking in one language to another language. We will show an example a bit later to show this power is so powerful, so it demolished all the language barriers on Earth. And it also helped with analytics. So social media platforms like Facebook Reel or TikTok, there's a lot of trending on those platforms, right? And with the power of analytics, AI can give you what is trending now, what is hot now. So the content producer can actually create videos and content that similar to those trending, so that they can get their contents more spread in those social platforms. The second contribution is about content management. So Netflix, Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, they all rely on recommendation to get the content to the audience. So how do they know the taste? How do they know what might be suitable to recommend? Is using the power of machine learning, using the power of AI to suggest a video or content or a movie that you might like. And it also helped to enhance the search the search power. So basically, in the past, you have to search by matching the keyword, right? But nowadays, AI can understand your intention in your natural language. So if you search on the search bar, something like, I want a superhero movie with a very big explosion scenes, for example, then AI can actually understand what do you mean for that and suggest you a couple of movies from Marvel, from DC, whatever it is, that have the explosive scenes.
And with the right metadata built out, AI can even help you build out the metadata and get to specific scenes. So if you're watching Mission Impossible and you want to get to a scene that has Tom Cruise dropping through the ceiling, you can say, take me to Tom Cruise dropping from the ceiling. The AI would have parsed the video, recognized those scenes, and take you right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it understands by actually taking all the metadata from the movie. And it can help with hyper-targeted advertisement, so understand what's the preference of the audience and give the content right away. Like similarly to what we have just discussed, so with the metadata, it can extract it from the movie. It may see, okay, in this movie, there's a very famous car brand, and you might like it. So right after the movie, the content providers can pop up an advertisement with the car in the advertisement. So it's targeted and understand the audience. And one of the very interesting power is to comply with compliance and with the copyright standards. So it can find a similar video with a copyright infringement on the vast amount of data on the internet. And it also can tailor the content to comply with the standard on a religious standard or with a law standard of some specific country. Let's get an example. For example, in a Muslim country, the woman cannot show the flesh, right, on the movie or on the video. So basically, it can understand the scene and it can give you the warning. It can give the provider the warning, the flag. You don't want to show this in this region. And or it even go further. It can enter this scene by covering up the woman's body, so that it makes sure that it comply with the standard of the region. So the next capability is to improve user experience. It helps to analyze the profile of the audience. So it gives you the profiling, it gives you the test, it gives you all the demographics, so that you can tailor the content and do targeted marketing. And nowadays, AI chatbot is very common. So AI assistant can help an user to go on a website, to navigate through thousands and millions of contents and answer all the questions that they might have. And finally, it can help with forecasting the demand, forecasting the supply, forecasting what might happen in the market, so that the service provider or the content provider can adjust their strategy based on the forecasting. So here is some example that we do. So from a scene, for a frame, we can extract all the metadata. Let's say on the left-hand side, you can see reporters who's reporting about the vaccination status. So AI can recognize, so there's somebody holding the mic, and it can read the text from behind and tagging all of that metadata into the database, so that it helps to search and to find the right contents at a very fast speed. On the right-hand side, you can see an example that AI can use facial recognition to recognize, oh, this is the actress. her name is Sarah Jessica Parker, and she's interacting with her MacBook. So after the show, maybe there's pop-up about advertisements that's related to those content. And it also can help producer or movie makers to find the right contents at the right timing.
And we could even take it a little bit further. We're not showing here in the Sarah Jessica Parker scene, but you could identify sentiment or mood to scenes and potentially use that, as Phong mentioned earlier, or as Jenny alluded to in the session this morning, use that to target advertising either within the scene or following the scene.
Yep, next. So
we've talked a bit about some of the varied use cases for media and entertainment companies, from subtitling and dubbing to object identification to advertising. Those all seem like great uses and can help M&E companies save a lot of time and a lot of effort. Let's get into some of the ethical considerations and where can these cases go awry and what could be done about it.
Sure. So let's look at the positive side of AI first. So if AI is like many tools that humans create on Earth, right? Like bio weapons or just simple a knife. You can use it to help your life easier, or you can use it to kill other people. So AI is having the same thing. If it's put on a good use and a good purpose, it can help to deliver the message. It can help us to spread the words more quicker. It helps the work more efficient. So in this case, let's look at an example where AI was used to help David Beckham to speak 9 languages in this campaign for healthcare in just a very quick and efficient way. So can you play the clip? Turn the sound on, please.
Malaria isn't just any disease. It's the deadliest disease there's ever been.
Se dice que ha matado más de la mitad de la población que ha existido.
وما زالت تقتل طفلا كل دقيقتين.
Mais nous pouvons y mettre fin. Nous savons comment, nous en avons la possibilité.
Okay, so you can see that David Beckham was able to speak in 9 languages he doesn't even know before. AI has helped computer vision to enter his lips to synchronize with his new languages. And it can even generate his voice in a different languages. Or it can even compose a new piece of music. In here, we give an example. It can compose a very cute song. It's called Daddy's Car, and in the style of the Beatles. So let's listen to a piece of the music. Yeah, thank you. So you see that it's entirely composed by algorithm. It doesn't really need any human to create that song. And here, if AI is being used for a good cause, for public service campaign, for pure entertainments, like in the song, so you can help. We can see that a huge improvement in productivity, in efficiency. Okay, however, we listed, next slide, top three media and ethical risks that we may have to consider before we release or we use any kind of AI tools. So first, AI tools can be used to spread disinformation and fuel polarization, censorship, political gain, or it can, it may have unauthorized profiling of citizens or unauthorized depiction of people, for example, a fake Tom Cruise, or AI bias against against women, against minorities, low-income people, and vulnerable group, etc. And some potential impacts for that is erosions of customers' trust and brand damage due to AI failures. It's also impact for legal responsibility for decision made by AI and IP rights issues with regard to new content generation. Let's go through some example that I have just mentioned. So recently in fine art competitions, AI is actually, a picture generated by AI is actually won the competition. And you can see the pictures on the top left. It's called the Theater of Opera, and it created a big news across all the artist community. And with the power of AI to generate pictures and or even copy the style of an artist, the artist community doesn't like it. And it creates controversies in terms of IP, in terms of capability of a human. So we are always proud that we are a species that can be creative. So now AI can actually mimic those capabilities. And some people might use those capabilities to state an alternative fact to enter the history. So it might create controversial and to apply to another citizen. So, for example, in this case, we show if AI is because it is learned based on the data that it get trained on. So it can get censorship from the human that actually teach the AI. Okay, next slide. Another example for AI risk in the media sector. So we talk about how AI can generate deepfake content. So it may use to impersonate other people and give blackmails or use it to spread some disinformation. Like in this video, we show a different way to use AI to impersonate other people.
Facebook to remove the deepfake because CBS News graphics appear on the video. This is the latest example of how tech
video
companies are
entirely
struggling to deal with
created
the
by
proliferation
artificial
of manipulated
intelligence
video content,
with the
which some
voice, with the
experts worry
image
could have a
of
negative
the
impact on the looming
famous or
presidential
celebrity
election.
people. Okay, so if AI is used with services like chatbot, like I mentioned, AI assistant, it may learn bad words or racist conversations, and the impact of that is actually automatically generated racist comments or tweets, and it damaged your brand and the image of your conversation and the quality of the conversation. And in another example, when AI is used to detect offenders, then it usually have a bias against the skin color. And it's purely because of the bias in the training data that humans actually give to the algorithm to learn.
So just to be clear, in this chatbot, this was a machine learning program. It basically monitored the input that it was getting from humans and adjusted its response. So in less than a day, it monitored the input and it adjusted its responses to basically provide racist responses because that's what I was getting as input.
Exactly, because one of the power of AI is keep learning. And when it got attacked by a group of people who try to fit in racist comments and input, so it would actually adapt it and adjust it to those kind of bad language. So this is the source, like I mentioned, all the risks. So this is the source of the bias and discrimination. So in our field of AI research, we usually say garbage in, garbage out. It means that if you give the algorithm a biased data, the algorithm will naturally take on those data and also be biased itself. But more than data, it also mentioned about, it also was about the algorithm itself. And sometimes data is not the only problem, but the algorithm itself can be a biased algorithm if the algorithm is not evaluated and not created carefully. And even if the data and the algorithm can be controlled very well, but still the purpose of human, the way human use those algorithms and use those application can actually be wrong. So misuse by human is another factor that creates those biases and ethical concern.
So the machine learning models have to be trained by somebody. Some models have unsupervised learning where over time they'll learn by themselves, like the chatbot model, but there needs to be a start somewhere. And so if the humans are feeding in biased data, either intentionally or unintentionally, you wind up with a flawed model. So some of those examples are a little scary. We've seen, I think, the power of AI, but we've also seen where, you know, they could be used for bad rather than good. So what can be done? Let's talk about some approaches.
So sure, I run an AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning lab in FPT software with more than 100 people. So my concern is also how to navigate and how to drive the lab with more innovation, but also keep them aware of the ethical concern. So there are three approaches that we usually use to create a positive AI. The first one is a view from the viewpoint of technology. How can we use technology? How can we research and invest in technology so that the algorithm itself, the data itself can be transparent, can be explainable as much as possible so that we can reduce and mitigate the problems of data bias, algorithm bias, and discrimination. The second would be operational approach. So as a company, we have process, we have all the pipeline in our workflow. So how can we create safeguard? How can we create training for the employee to raise awareness about all of these concerns would be very important. And finally, for all the researchers, so there's a philosophy approach. So we always talk about goal alignment. So if you are a researcher in artificial intelligence field, it's important to understand that if you create a machine that have a different purpose with human, then there's no goal alignment here. Then at the end of the day, it may create a machine or an AI that is out of control. And the scary thing is AI can have the power to learn and deduce the logic by itself. So it's very important to have goal alignment between human and the algorithm that you create. So let's go a bit deeper. So for technology approach, in research, we always push for open data, open benchmark, and open repository. So it's work toward AI democratization, and it's also work towards the transparent and make sure that the community can see and can review your work. And the second point is we invest a lot of resources and funding toward trustworthy AI. This is a topic that help the model created by machine learning to be more robust, more interpretable, more privacy preserving, and more fair. So we all take that into consideration and into evaluation to make sure the technology we build can be used in practice. And you know, when we do a lot of AI applications, we always ask ourselves whether we use a pre-built AI model provided by big names like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, or we should build a model from wholly from scratch. So it's like, imagine it's like fast food versus home cooked meal, right? You can have a very cheap and quick solution by using a pre-built AI model created by other company. However, you don't know how these models are created, what data it has consumed to learn, and it's very hard to control that. On the other hand, if you build an AI model from scratch, yes, it takes more effort, it takes more engineering power. However, you control of what data is feeding in, and you can control the behavior of the model that you might want to release. So in many cases, I observe that actually people prefer to use a hybrid model, that they use something that already existing, and then adapt those models into the behavior that you want. So that is a common practice, to use a hybrid one. Well, for the organization considerations, and so we make sure that in the organization, in the workflow, we have people to get trained with AI ethics. So the education part is very important. We empower our engineers, our researchers, by giving them all the AI ethics courses so that they be aware of what they are building. And in terms of resources, in terms of engagement, we also engage with the stakeholder, tell them what is the risk, and make sure the communication is transparent. And we communicate clearly about the risks of AI, about the AI ethics, what can be done, what should not be done. And finally, we also should organize in our organization some kind of like AI police, just to make sure that we are comply with the standard of ethics.
Great, thanks, Phong. So we've covered a lot of ground today in a relatively short amount of time. We could probably spend a day on each of these topics, and we're happy to spend time with you guys diving into them some more. FPT has a broad range of service offerings, AI and machine learning, data and analytics, but very broad-based in media and entertainment. We have a table outside, or feel free to scan the QR code and contact us after the show. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ira. Thank you, Phong.